Day 29. I am so happy to be doing this video with you all today. Yeah, had a really wonderful meditation. Really enjoyed connecting with my higher self and feeling deep relaxation. Almost a trance-like meditation this morning. There was a few moments when I just kind of lost, how do I say? I was connecting so much with my higher self in the moment. There was these moments of almost just loss of self, actually. Just not really identifying so much with who I am or what I've been through, the traumas and pain and past experience, and just really being present in that moment. And towards the end of the meditation, there was something that came up that I found that I really wanted to talk about, which was a movie I watched last night. It's an old one. It's from 1994, I believe. So I was 7 years old when this came out, and the movie was extremely popular, very successful at that time. I think probably regarded as one of the greatest movies ever made by a lot of people, and I just never saw it. I'd seen clips of it. I'd seen little sections when it was on TV or whatever, but I never sat down and watched the whole thing through. And it really had become a big part of like a popular culture, actually, some of the lines from that movie. And so it's really interesting that I made it this far through my life and never saw that movie. So what is this movie I'm talking about? Forrest Gump. Okay? And if you've seen it, you probably know yourself what a wonderful movie it is. If you haven't seen it, like, what are you waiting for? Like, seriously? I know I'm pretty late too. I only just saw it yesterday, right? Yeah, go watch that movie, okay? Why is this movie so important? Well, what did I learn from this movie? I don't want to go into like too many spoilers, okay? But you've probably heard the famous line, even if you've never seen the movie, life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. And that became like, I don't know, super well known. And like, I remember how many times I heard people repeat this, and it was even kind of became like a running joke. And I feel that it really does the movie kind of an injustice because it goes so much beyond just that little line. There was one part in particular, a particular line in that movie that I just found was so powerful. When he said, when Forrest said, when I was hungry, I ate. When I was tired, I slept. And when I had to go, you know, I went. And like that's just such a powerfully delivered line at that moment because it really speaks to this like deep level of awareness that the character had. Okay, Forrest is supposed to be an idiot, stupid. Everyone is always telling him how stupid he is. 75 IQ. Like, I don't know if IQ test is really like even a reliable measure of intelligence or whatever, but according to that IQ test, he was really stupid. And bless his mom, who really raised him to be this wonderful person, never let other people get him down. Incredibly mm, undefeatable spirit within that boy, later this man, Forrest. And so he was able to go through life and do things the way that he wanted to do without worrying so much about what other people thought about him. And he was so in flow, so aligned with his life's purpose that he just did the things that called to him. I mean, there's like it said in that line, I I was hung when I was hungry I ate, when I was tired I slept. Like that seems really basic, but I know there's a lot of people out there who are not doing that, okay? You don't eat when you're hungry. You drink a cup of coffee instead. You don't sleep when you're tired. and your sleeping is so messed up that you've got to take melatonin or smoke a bunch of weed or drink beer or whatever it might be to help you get to sleep. And here's this guy that people kind of written him off as a loser early on in his life, and then he went on to go do all these amazing things. Like pretty much every single one of the accomplishments that Forrest Gump did would have been considered a like lifetime achievement for most people. But there was something more important to him than all of those achievements, and it seemed no matter how hard he tried, he could never get that. But he just didn't give up. And everything that happens to him, like, just being born stupid, it was one of his greatest blessings, okay? And I'm not telling you that if something really bad has happened to you, if you were in an accident and you lost your legs, or I don't know, your friend committed suicide, or your partner died, or you lost your business and all your money, whatever like bad things that have happened to you, I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you just gotta like, see the bright side in it. Don't, life never gives you anything you can't handle, or there's a, whatever kind of platitude there might be. I'm not here to tell you that right now. What I am saying, though, is that we never know how a particular experience in life is going to lead us along our path in the future. Okay, and that's the truth. Okay, that's not something that can be argued, unless you're like some psychic that can predict the future and knows like everything, in which case you're probably not watching this video anyways. So yeah, whatever happens, we don't know how this is going to affect the rest of our life. With that understanding, I'm pretty sure that most people can agree with this, that we literally don't know how whatever we're going through at this moment is going to affect our life in the future. So because we don't know, there's always a choice to either resist or surrender and allow. And the more we resist, the harder life is, the more painful the experiences are. And when we allow and surrender, it allows us to relax more. It allows us to connect with our higher self more. It allows us to tap into the flow state or alignment. And so back to this movie, even though Forrest Gump had such a hard time getting what he really wanted, he never gave up. And that led him through all these different amazing experiences in life. And each one of those experiences may have seemed like a bad thing, but the bad thing later turned into a good thing, which led him into another bad thing, which became a good thing. And so, like, this is really one of these big themes in this movie about the bad things that happen to us might be one of our greatest gifts or blessings, but we'll never know that in the moment that it's happening. In the moment that it's happening, it's we're bad experience, or what makes it a bad experience because we don't want it. So when we get what we don't want, or like if it's painful, yeah, we avoid pain and seek pleasure. Okay. So if it's a painful experience, like there's no, you don't have to like say, oh, like, yeah, this is the most wonderful thing. I'm enjoying it so much. Like, no, it's okay to be in pain and admit that you're in pain, and with an understanding that this may be leading you to something greater, but it doesn't mean that the pain goes away. Yeah? And even the ending of the movie, it's the ending of the movie is not really a good thing. It's not like a good ending. It's not like a bad ending. It's one of those like open-ended things. It's not like one of those movies where, rescue the princess and they live happily ever after. No, it's obviously doesn't have a happily ever after ending to it, but it does end in a way where, as we see Forrest Gump go navigate through all these challenges in life, that even where he is at the ending, I was left with this feeling of peace. Like, oh, he's totally got this. He's going to keep going and do the best that he can, and the best that he can is going to be amazing. And it's funny that it takes like a movie sometimes to see something like this. It can be very hard to trust yourself, to trust the higher guidance that's always there for you when you don't realize it. So much that there can be signs that when we hear things like, if you start to tap into this, the more you heal and let go of your traumas, the more you will start to tap into your higher self or embody your higher self and really be aware of the messages that it's giving you, the guidance that it's giving you. But the first times that this happen, you may not be aware of it, or you might reject the message. You might confuse your higher guidance with your mind or your ego and not allow it to really lead you in the way that it's trying to. And so there's this incredible amount of trust and faith that's required that you're going down the right path. Especially when that path leads you into pain, when that path leads you into failure, when it leads you into setbacks, when it seems like the more you focus on doing what you want, sometimes it seems that you become further away. Like you could want a certain outcome, and the more that you work on it, it might seem that the outcome only becomes further and further away. But that might just because you're trying to play the short game without having the awareness of the long timeline of life. The importance of having patience, the importance of gratitude, the importance of compassion and love for where you're at. Because it doesn't always come at the time that we want it to. We always get what we need, but not what we want. And that's just the way it is. So we got to make the best that we can of that situation, no matter what it is.